I really don't know how we reviewed this movie.
Because it's not a movie. But I watched it. I watched every second of it, which is weird.
We really should have got wigs and painted our eyes like the dude from the movie for this whole review.
He's the only guy I want to talk about. He thought he was cool as shit when he wrote and directed and starred in this movie.
I didn't even know that. I'm not trying to be funny when I say I can tell you nothing about this movie.
He used to be a pro wrestler, apparently.
He used to be a pro wrestler?
He was a jumping bomb angel.
That's just what it said.
Let's get this rolling and see how long this shit lasts. There's a good chance that this is going to be like a heavy visual aid type show.
Heavy metal.
He's Blake. I'm Ronnie. All the good names are taken. Podcast with Tim. Day 27, Blake. It's October the 27th. We've been here sometimes watching movies, some good, some bad, but then there's a whole different level and category like the movie we watched today, Heavy Metal Massacre from 1989.
Heavy piece of
Tim, what'd you think of Heavy Metal Massacre?
Well, at first, I thought this. Then, I thought a little of this.
Go ahead and tell it's going to be one of those type shows. Blake, I've made you wait. Still going. I'm just going to mute his ass. Blake, I've made you watch a lot of bad. Look at his hand motions as he's really getting into it. Let's look at this idiot.
I think it's funnier without sound. This is already 100 times better than the movie.
He's going with the mouth. Blake, I've made you watch a ton of bad movies before. Where does this movie rank on the list of movies that you have hated me for making? Because you actually sat through, I would say you sat through 95% of this because you were giving me updates as we went along through this movie. And I'll go ahead and break it to everybody watching. If there's anybody watching this video on day 27, we really don't know how we're going to do a review of this movie. We're going to do the best we can because, Blake, tell me what you said when you texted me last night.
I think I said 22 minutes. We got our first swastika.
I'm talking about you don't know what you just watched.
Oh yeah, this is at the to answer your question. This is at the tippy top of the worst movies you've ever made me watch. And this isn't one of them things where out there in YouTube land where you're listening to this and you're going, "Oh, Blake thinks it's bad. Let me go check it out." I'm telling you right now, don't search it out. Don't let curiosity get the best of you. Don't look up this movie. Don't waste your time. It is the worst piece of shit. I can't even tell what's happening in the first 15, 20 minutes because of the way it's filmed. I can't tell you anything about it. I don't know how these two took notes. I don't have any notes in my phone. Piece of shit. That picture down there, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl. I still don't know. I can't tell you one piece of dialogue. I can't tell you who lived or died. I can't tell you anything.
Tim, we record these out of order, but once upon a time, you said that the Ghoulies, you're not going to see a worse movie than the Ghoulies. So now I'm going to revisit that question because I told you at the time that it was going to be a long month. Tim, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Heavy Metal Massacre?
That was like my third or fourth point earlier. I guess y'all were talking over me while I was giving my initial response. But
we muted you, yes.
It's the absolute. I can't say it's worse than Ghoulies because Ghoulies was structured like a movie. Ghoulies tried to be a movie. This dude tried to make a heavy metal music video and totally and completely failed. He tried to make a feature length, like he saw that animated movie Heavy Metal, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Never seen.
Makes fun of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He tried to do a live version of that, and there's just nothing there. Like, you don't have anybody that looks remotely heavy metal in this movie. Everyone needs a haircut. You know, they're balding worse than me. You got this dude in this picture down here. Like, how soft does this guy look? I could kick this dude's ass, no problem, any day of the week. And he's your killer. He's the guy you're afraid of. When he strips down to his heavy metal, like sports bra tank top, he's the skinniest dude I've ever seen in a movie.
I thought that was the guy that's in all of Adam Sandler's movies.
God.
It's like Gorilla Monsoon said, he is a pirate's dream. He has a sunken chest.
Nice.
You couldn't hit Sky Low with that kick.
So, guys, I've got a lot of clips we're going to play.
Okay.
Blake's right. There weren't a lot of notes. I did my best to take notes. And when Blake said, I've been watching this piece of for 10 minutes and nobody said anything, I thought he was joking. But I think technically around the 7-minute and 46-second mark, somebody actually gives us a line of dialogue. I don't know who it is because I couldn't see them because they had 0 lights in this movie. The lighting was awful. The audio was awful. All I can figure without doing any research at all, guys, is this guy, Bobby Collins or whatever his name is, ran into some cash. Somebody died. He inherited some money, and he thought, I'm going to be the biggest thing ever. So he decided to make a music video. And in the middle of the music video, he was like, hey, let's just turn it into a movie. And in the middle of the movie, he decided he wanted to switch from it being a porno to a horror movie.
Did you see the name of the band that was doing this music?
No, I did not.
Electric Backburner, which is about the most, that's super appropriate.
That's not a bad name.
Dude, they are the back burner of electric rock and roll.
Tim,
I thought Heavy Metal Massacre would have real tracks. I was excited. I was like, this is going to be a crappy movie with actual heavy metal music. It's not.
I thought it was going to be when you guys sent me this link, I thought it was going to be a band that goes around killing people. They go from town to town killing people.
Can we make that movie? They made a movie with less money than we could pull together ourselves. We could make that movie.
See, I'm going to go one better on you. I think we could spend 0 money and make a better movie than they made.
Agreed.
So, yeah, this one's a tough one. And look.
Are you going to play any clips of the cops?
I don't have any clips of the cops because I tried to keep it to the beginning and a couple of the kills that I think are hilarious and then the very end.
Okay.
I didn't record clips of the cops because I thought we would be here for like 30 minutes discussing if that's the same guy playing both parts because it's like they're not even in the same room together.
They're the worst cops in movie history, which is really saying something. Like they are the absolute. I need a file on all the similar cases for the past 3 months from a 50-mile radius. Why? What's your idea here?
Well, some dude's giving these girls bad coke and then he's killing them.
Is this related to the other murders? Besides the way they were killed? No.
And then there's some old man in there. It's like, I've never seen cut marks like this in skin.
God.
What an idiot. Movie starts off like this right here. I mean, you know it's going to be a great movie. You get this.
You're immediately thinking, all right, titties. But that's not the case.
At all. The graphics in this movie are great. Not great, I mean terrible. I mean, it's building suspense. At this point right now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. At this point right now, I'm all in on this movie because I'm getting a John McBride type.
Yeah,
feel.
I was too. I was all in. I'm like, I love how this thing is starting. And then we go to not mug shots, but what kind of shots are these? Headshots?
Yeah. This is something I don't understand because obviously this is the guy that made the movie. And like the very beginning of the movie, it's like 4 minutes.
I thought it was a chick.
I thought it was a chick.
It's not a chick. It's the guy. It's the killer from the movie.
Okay.
He's got tits.
He doesn't have tits. But all I'm saying is the first 5 minutes of this movie are just like random photos from Sears of him. I mean, check this out. Is that good music, Tim? Because I don't know.
No. Although every once in a while they'll hit a riff at the right time, and I'm like, that was pretty good timing. And they just totally patted themselves on the back for that.
That's a chick.
You think when it fades
now
to black,
I feel weird because I really did think that was a chick.
You to him last night, didn't you?
Edit. Yes.
Nice tattoo, nerd. See, now you think the movie's about to start. Wrong. You get a tiger behind him.
You get a tiger.
Now the movie's going to start. No, it's not, because we got another picture of him. What a this movie's awful. It's so bad. It's so bad, guys. And I'm going to apologize firsthand about this movie because I thought it would be better. And then I'd already sold it to you guys. Hey, this is the movie we're going to watch.
It looked like the perfect movie.
And I couldn't come back off of it at that point. I had gone too far. Blake had already started watching it. I'm still not sure Tim even watched it, but still.
No, I totally watched it. There's no the only plot thread they have is at the beginning. You've got the two chicks, and then they show up later.
Yeah, I called that the Oscar clip because this movie has got some uncharted territory because you would think it would start with guy stuff. But no, this movie starts with the fact that some girl's doing coke off a table and another one walks in to tell her to stop that stuff. So
it's taking her forever to cut that coke up too. Must be her first time.
Must be a dull card.
Don't even want to know.
That's why I use a mirror.
I call this the Oscar clip.
Destroy yourself on that stuff. You can do it in front of someone else. I'll be out of here tomorrow.
That's the only acting you get, so don't laugh at it. That's the only attempt at acting.
Okay.
Guys, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not easy, Shauna. It's a bitch.
Is that how many? So, how much profanity is used in this movie?
Tons
like 3
of
times?
it. No, I mean it's profanity all throughout this movie. There is homophobic language all throughout this movie, which it was the 80s. They really didn't care back then. Edit. And the cops are like the biggest.
Why do either of these chicks have clothes on?
For acting.
Just do coke naked.
Is that how the dude got her to follow him? I got some coke, put it in your mouth.
I mean, I don't even understand.
Is he supposed to? Why does he think he looks dark and mysterious there? He had no one to tell him what a goober he looked like.
Dude, he's paying these guys in coke, so there's no way they're gonna. That's not going to disagree. He probably inherited $3,000. He spent $2,700 on coke, and then the rest of it he made this movie with. I mean, this is the opening of the movie, which I got to say, the graphics at the very beginning right there are pretty awesome. But it's all just pictures of him, and these pictures revolve around. Look, it's like a little subplot of this movie where he goes and meets the coke dealer. Like there's like 5 scenes of him just walking up to the thinning-haired coke dealer and getting coke from him. And then he goes, it's the same move every time whenever he kills somebody.
You stare at this a long time.
Yes.
You stare at this shot a very long time.
Well, I mean, guys, let's face it. This movie's like an onion, lots of layers.
Look into the camera. Yeah. God, look at that killer.
And you're right. There's a scene where I thought we were going to have a sex scene. Then he took his shirt off and edit because she saw that he had no muscular tone at all. But then she remembered he's got coke. So I've got to do something to get that coke. And like I was saying before, there's no stalking. This is not like Halloween. There's no stalking in this movie.
It's not like Halloween, Tim.
It's not like Friday the 13th.
You know, I was going to call this heavy metal Halloween then he said that, and I started to think, this really isn't a lot like Halloween.
There's no brute force in this. It's just him in a bar. He walks up and says, hey, with some kind of accent, let's go back to my place. And he takes them back to the place that they do coke. He takes them in there. He ties them up. He kills them.
He lives in the same room I filmed the intro to the ATG and AT podcast in. Like he's got like some posters on the wall and a couch, and that's pretty much it.
There's one scene in particular, guys, where there's one scene in particular. I don't know what kind of death is happening. It looks like he's doing something with pliers. Like he may be even sewing her lips together.
Okay.
So,
as bad as this movie is, I kind of gagged at this part. Like this was really disgusting to me. I don't know. I guess I just found out I have a weird thing about mouths. I don't know. But this was kind of rough.
On it. Hot mouth. Here we go. So
I can't see what the hell's happening.
me neither. Okay, there's the mouth. Obviously, we can make it out right there.
I thought that was a titty.
So he's roofied the piss out of her, and now he's either fisting to yank her tongue out with these pliers.
So is that what you got out of this?
I got either that or he is sewing her lips up like D. Snyder did in that movie.
I tell you what I got out of this.
Sewing.
See, there's the pliers. I'm man enough to know that's a pair of pliers.
Okay.
Maybe she had a wisdom tooth you need to take out. Maybe he's a dentist.
God.
Now, somebody steps in front of the camera. We didn't think to have any kind of lights in here. I think he really killed her. Now, this thing right here makes me think that's a hook at the end of it.
Okay, so is that what this is? Is it because
Yeah.
I just didn't understand what I was supposed to be looking at here?
That's because you don't understand horror.
That is true. That is true.
Now, what's going on here? Now it appears he's pulling something out of her mouth.
Right. So in the movie Con Air, Dave Chappelle swallows a bag of drugs and he pukes it up. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here.
You think he's really pulling a bag out of her intestine? She's a mule. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the scenes that obviously I didn't understand.
And that is the clearest death scene that we get in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah, the first death scene that we get, you just see like darkness, some people moving around, and then there's blood dripping on the sidewalk.
I have seen indie wrestlers use sledgehammers more believably than this dude does when he hits that chick in the stomach.
Dude, okay, you're talking about when he hits the chick in the stomach?
Yeah.
My favorite scene is when he goes after the guy that called him a and you get the sound effect. Check this out. Industrial Light and Magic. Just when you think they haven't done enough, they give you the blue light right here.
Dude,
I was wrong. This is like Halloween. They're stalking right here. He's stalking.
Yeah, this is like Halloween meets a shit sandwich.
Now listen to this sound effect right here.
Oh shit! I think that put him over the budget right there.
Oh, dang.
Roddy, can I get another sound bite of that, please?
It's like we paid $2,000 to Gallagher to show up to do this scene. All right, you want it again? You got it.
Just one more time, please. All right, this is him sneaking, right?
Yeah.
Now, center of the back.
He's
What
done.
are the injuries here?
You got to figure spinal. He's done like dinner. And this is the only time you see him sort of like being a man, because the rest of the movie he's focused on the ladies. And this guy pretty much tells him, "What are you going out with this girly man for? I beat him outside every time. I take him outside, whip his ass." And then he kills this girl. Then he comes back and takes care of this guy in the bar. And now, of course, we don't know what the hell's happening now because you can't see anything.
He's taking his britches off.
Who's playing the drums?
I love the way this was shot.
What? So is there like aggressive physical activity happening? I don't see it.
I think what's supposed to be happening is this guy's supposed to be pulling himself up to his feet, but we can't see it because Ricky Strings here is blocking the camera.
God.
So what I just gathered from that scene is all of this took place so this right here can happen. And when you figure it out, the guy, even after getting hit with a mallet in the back of in between the shoulder blades, still throws Ricky Strings away because he's such a puss. And just when you think this movie couldn't get any better, This is how he kills the guy. I know I'm dominating the conversation, but here's how he kills. We got a chainsaw, guys. So not only is this movie a lot like Halloween because of the stalking, not only is this movie a lot like Friday the 13th with all the bodies going down the wall, leaving a blood trail, but now we know this guy has seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre because he runs up with a chainsaw to cut this guy up.
It's really an homage to all great horror movies.
Yeah.
Well, look, all the greats, borrow from people, and he's just borrowing from everybody. Apparently, he's scaring him to death with this chainsaw because he hadn't touched him yet.
Oh, man. That is fantastic.
I'm sorry. And there's more to it.
That is fantastic.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know. I'm so sorry, guys.
Maybe this is the best movie to watch with friends.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie you want to do a live stream with. Just get everybody together. I must watch this shizit. I think you got him. There you go. There's the gore, guys. So
Some audiences may find that disturbing.
yeah.
We were warned.
So he's got one move that he does. He kills the girl at the very end who promised Blake she wouldn't do coke anymore. She promised her roommate, hey, no more coke, okay? And then he walks in and he's like, hey, you want to go with me? I got coke. And he opens like a little thing up to show her. And he even puts some on his finger and puts it in her nose. And she's like, sure, I'll go with you. He goes, I live right down the road. So he kills her. The next time we see anything, he's walking into a bar with the girl, the only one that's left from the Oscar scene. And this right here happened. Blake, what do we call somebody that is, what do we call a woman that when a guy walks up and says, hey, you want to split, just goes with him, no questions asked for coke? What do we call them?
Hello.
Look at this little cocky bastard. Look at that look back at the.
You can't see the look back, though. That's the thing.
Just like Thriller, this guy has got everything in this movie.
Oh, shit. Look at these graphics. I wish we had this for the beginning of our intro for 31 days. We got to make that happen, guys. We got to make that happen. Just when you thought there wasn't any more of this movie to watch, Blake. It's not a really great movie.
No
Let me finish. Hold on. I got to see what this is real quick because I added it on here for some reason. What is this? Oh,
It's
okay.
a palette.
So you know what I say. Any movie that's got stuff in the credits is a great movie. And this is how Heavy Metal Massacre ends. Bobby Young, not Bobby Collins. My bad.
Bobby Collins was the backup quarterback on the program.
Okay, well, that's the reason I was. Look, you can almost make him out right there. Yeah.
And let's just be honest. Any guy's name that ends in I is a pussy.
And yeah, you're right. I love how they stay on him for 30 seconds. Like just the little 5-second little Bobby Young is not good enough. We're going to stay on him.
Before they started this movie, they said the money shot is this guy standing head half cocked looking at the camera.
Because
She's the hottest thing in this movie, right?
Easily.
Bobby Collins is the hottest thing in this movie.
God, it's true at the beginning. God, what's happened to me?
Is that a wig or is that real? Michelle DeSantis. Well, her brother's on.
Her brother's a governor.
Oh my God. And he's tried to bury this for years. Wait till Trump gets a hold of this.
Maybe this guy's just going around killing Republicans.
Here's one guy right here. I swear this is the same guy, and I swear they were not in the same room. For some reason, he's got a calculator that looks like one of those little. What do you call those, Tim? You're smarter than me. They take your blood and they put it in that thing. It spins around. It looks like he's got one of those things on his desk.
The blood gyro.
A demonologizer.
Yeah.
There's too many in this city.
There's the Jew from Saving Private Ryan.
What's his name? Oh my God!
I want to dance.
Eli Roth's in this movie. John Thayer is Eli Roth.
Giddy singing that we're hearing.
Plotting.
Hey,
get out of here, bitch!
This was my favorite character.
Ronnie, can I see that shove again?
You saying that followed by Tim saying this is my favorite character.
Dude,
what'd you do with my coat, bitch?
He's in the wrong bar just to fight. Like, look at him. Americo Caraccio
from Seinfeld.
What are they? This is the greatest name. That's not his real name. That is awesome.
It would have been offensive to put IROC, Italian out cruising.
Americo Caraccio.
That hair. This person, we don't know who it is because they really killed her.
This is Ronnie's favorite person.
No, my favorite person is Bobby. Whoa. Kim Lombardi, Vince's daughter.
God, the dude, they squandered all of his money.
You got any coke?
Hey, did somebody say coke?
It's a bitch.
Talking about
Quitting coke is a bitch.
Dude, this scene was crazy. Where'd you get all these cars? You coming?
Gradage. Oh my God! Oh, look, this guy was my favorite.
Here I am.
Ryan Gosling.
You want to see my?
He's telling her that.
That's what I'm saying.
Billy GoDaddy's bangs off.
Heavy metal hug.
Ooh.
Come inside. I'll show you my and balls.
This guy shows up out of nowhere, drug dealer, and he's like just talking to her like they're friends. But at no point in the movie where we aware of this relationship. So they're just the scummiest of the scum. All right. So what the hell does this? What the hell does this? What
does this mean?
What does preteen Steve Murphy mean? That might be the greatest nickname ever.
That's his nickname. Dude's in jail. This is the sleaziest thing I've seen in the entire movie.
That's the only ass he gets is preteen.
God, we were just unspoken.
That is that nickname's amazing. He's currently serving 17 years to life.
Maybe it's a joke about his hairline.
He's running for governor. Heavy metal massacre.
Electric Afterburner Band.
Now, Tim, I know you're unfamiliar with horror. I just want you to know there are other heavy metal horror movies that are much better. There is Rock and Roll Nightmare. There is, what'd you say, Ronnie? Thor? Rock and Roll Nightmare?
Yeah, the one with Thor in it.
Oh, that's right. He's in the movie?
Yeah.
Thor kicks ass.
He's awesome. There's Ronnie, help me out. $1,000 wine in the crack of my ass.
Oh, that's Slumber Party Massacre 2. Rocktober Blood. That's another one that we've got to bring to video. Guys, what can I say? I am truly almost sorry.
0.0.
As a movie, if you're going to consider this a movie, it's no score. But I don't think you consider it a movie. It's a project. It's an experiment.
It's a movie. And as a movie, I'm going to give it a 0.3.
Based on where do the 3 points come from?
Because if I say 0, like Blake did, if I say 0, like Blake, I like the owl down there. The owl, by the way, made my wife start cackling, and she just rolled over and went to bed. She goes, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. Edit. She goes, you're watching this shit that nobody cares about. That's the reason this company's in the shape it's in, brother. When Blake sent me that last night, that Hogan meme always pops me. Shit like this
damn channels.
movies like this is the reason this damn channel's in the shape it's in.
Like this.
No, I'm giving it a 0.3 because if I give it a 0 like Blake, I'm admitting that there's not a worse movie out there.
Then why not a 0.1? You gave it a little boost, a minute, tiny little boost, and I want to know why.
Because I got to give myself room to play with here. If I find a movie worse than this, I could go 0.2.
Okay.
And then I'm always on the search for that 0.
I think this is it, but okay.
I think you found it, buddy, but you're not doing it. Okay, well, hit us in the comments, guys. Go to YouTube, watch Heavy Metal Massacre, and tell us what you think about this movie. Is this movie a 0.0, or do you agree with me that it gets at least a 0.3 for effort? And that's all I really got to say. Hit us up. Anything that you liked or didn't like just it. Put it in the comments. Hell, tell us how the weather is, because nobody wants to talk about this movie. Blake, I'm sorry, but I guess you could take solace in knowing, or you take comfort in knowing that I won't be picking a worse movie than this for a very long time. Yeah. It's going to take a lot of digging to find one worse than this.
Thank you,
Tim. Thank you so much. We've almost made it to the end of the month, guys. October the 27th. Go back and check out our other 26 reviews that are hopefully better than this one. And
boy, it doesn't feel like October 27th, does it?
No, it kind of feels like August. But what do you know? Where is it? Oh, okay. Bye, guys.